Hello, people. Welcome to Hello, everyone. Welcome to, what is this called? The Trip? I forgot the name of my own show. But yes, here we are. It is the, sorry, I don't know if you can hear that. I had the actual game on. We here is the Trip. Yes, welcome to the show. There'll be at least one person with me, at least like they're in the backstage. They haven't shown themselves yet, but welcome to the show. Yeah, we're smiling, right? We're smiling. I think we're smiling. I think we all can smile. We all should be smiling. All right. It is, as I said, Monday the 24th. After a very good 23rd for me. 22nd, not so good for me, but the 23rd, pretty good for me. 23rd, my college team that I support had a bad day. Basically lost for the first time at home to a team that hadn't beaten them in I want to say decades. They got destroyed. Shouldn't have, but they did. But times are changing. All right. Let's see. Oh, this is the new thing now with this YouTube. They changed things up on me a bit. Hopefully, people got the message that we're having a show today. I kind of. Nobody said hello to me. Am I getting anxious and wondering if they're actually going to join? Well, if not, I'll just talk to myself, and or everybody's happy from the previous game. So I think everybody's here. I don't think there's. One thing I should do is check to make sure there aren't like two links. I know YouTube's acting kind of weird, and yesterday when I tried to do a show, I looked and there were like two live links. It was kind of weird. So I think there should only be the one. Okay, there's only the one, so I guess that's good. Yep. So we're here. Tony should be coming soon. He joined early. He joined before me, but he's not here anymore. I could start getting into the game, but I kind of maybe I'll just talk to myself. See how this plays out. It's Arsenal 4, that team 3. That team 1. All right. Oops. There we go. All right. Oh, another person joined and then left. So I don't know. Everybody's just joining and then hiding themselves. So I don't know what's going on. What I do wrong. What I do. So might just be me talking to you guys. Let's see. Oh, yeah. All right. Yeah. I guess Spencer has some important things that he has to take care of. So he'll be back, I think. Unless he's got other things to do. Yeah. All right. I got first person to join me. I don't know. All right. All right. So I see. Got BX in the house. Welcome to the show, BX. How you doing? It's just me and you right now. I don't know. I felt like I do what I usually do, but it's kind of like a little dead tonight. I don't know where everybody is. So we'll see. People join. How are you doing, BX? Or did you join and leave too? I don't know. All right. After the weekend we had Where the heck? Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Maybe there's another show on that I don't know about, and everybody's going there. Um, but yeah, I'm here. I'm here. I don't know if there's any other show on. If there's any other live show that might be taking people away from me, I don't know. I think a lot of people are doing shows today after the weekend, but we were always here. That's the thing. I don't know. It's like a lot of people doing shows exactly right now. That's interesting. All right. So maybe that's where everybody is. All right. All right. Thank you, BX. Yeah, you know what? I thought I did share it on the WhatsApp, so we'll see. We'll see if anybody joins me. But yeah. So it was actually a good Saturday. And it was a good and bad Saturday. Good and bad Saturday football wise, depending on which football you're talking about. Um, hey, we got Arsenal Misfit in the house. Welcome to the show, Arsenal Misfit. Got Catherine over here. Hello, hello. Everybody saying hello. All right. I don't know. It's like a slow start. Everybody, we go out there, North London Derby, we win 4-1, and then nobody wants to talk football anymore. What's going on? Is this what happens when we're struggling? When it's hard, when we're struggling, everybody wants to chat. Now, I guess it looked too easy, didn't it? You ready to crash for the weekend? One more day of work. Oh, look at you! I got to work all the way to Wednesday. So yeah, I'll be working till Wednesday, and so yeah, I gotta pick up one of my kids tomorrow, but this from the airport, so it's not a big drive. Trossard, Eze, yes. Got Tiger and Guna in the house. Welcome to the show, all the way from Australia. Yeah, we'll talk about that and then some. Yeah, like I said, I've got my other two partners in crime, but they've shown up, but they're not. I don't see them, so I don't think they're ready to chat. But we can chat. Oh, look at this! Good Zanzi in the house. You're here for the curtain. You're here for the curtains. Well, there you go. Voila, curtains are here. They say hi. All right, everybody. So, as I said, Saturday was a kind of a. I thought it was going to be a good Saturday, and I was going to be surprised in the evening. We got look at this! Everybody's showing up now. Good. Got Rosie in the house. She says they were robbed. Yeah, I don't know about that. Robbed. No, nobody was robbed. It's just that's just how you play football, and they don't play good football. You're used to that, right? You watch football teams that aren't that good at football, right? Hope the chat are all well. Yeah, yes. Hope everybody in the chat is good. If you joined, make sure you hit the like. Rose and Jose. Yeah. So, as I said, Saturday was a big day. I'll just chat about Saturday, and hopefully by the time these guys show up, we can talk about the game itself. But Saturday was a good day, right? Had a couple of losses. I like to talk about the losses, not about the wins. A couple of losses that looked really good. City lose 3-0 to Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest sitting in the relegation zone, or they were. They were sitting in the relegation zone. They are now sitting in 16th. Imagine that. They were in a relegation zone. Now they're sitting in 16th. It's things are tight at the bottom. Things are tight, kind of just below. Kind of, I guess now below. I guess what is it now? There are 5 points between second and 11 right now. 5 points is all. So yeah, it's close. Nice thing is Arsenal has to deal with any of that. We are up by 6 on the team in blue and 7 on the other team in blue. Very good. So that went really nicely. City losing the way they did. Yipes. Oh no, City lost to Newcastle. That's right. That's right. It was Liverpool lost to Nottingham Forest, right? Right? Yes. Wow, I forgot. Got all my games all mixed up. And then yes, we'll talk about another team that lost as well. And then Chelsea United lost to Everton tonight. I watched the game a little bit, and the fact that was a crazy way to start of that game, teammates fighting with each other. Initially, when I saw it, because it was like on a little screen, I couldn't really see much. I didn't see. First, they said it was a headbutt, and I was like, it doesn't even look like a headbutt. Turns out he Ghana or basically swung at his teammate's face. But I'll say this: his teammate kind of started a little bit, right? His teammate kind of pushed him, and that kind of got. He was already wound up when he walked over there. And his teammate didn't help him out, wilded him up even more. And you don't take a swing at your teammate, but it was one of those calm him down, not really get him going. Because when he pushed him and he came back at him, that was where she goes. You got Rhetoric Gamer in the house. Thanks for joining. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Rosie just turned 40 a couple weeks ago. Oh, your sister's graduating tonight in law. Very nice. Now you got some help if you ever get in trouble. If only Harlan knew how to lob a keeper. Yeah. Oh well. Are you sure he doesn't know how to do it? I swear he's done that before. He's scored multiple different ways. I'd be surprised he hasn't done a lob, but you know what? We don't care. How did that? Okay, let's look at the score lines because that's yeah, City. Oh, that's right. City lost to Newcastle 2-1. Yeah, I forget how that game played out. Let's see how that game played out. I forget now. Let's see. They're going to give us a little bit about how this game went. Oh, that's right. That's right. Not much going on for most of the game. The scoring actually happened all in about is that right? In a 7-minute period. Yep, the first goal was scored by Barnes, 63rd minute. And then 7 minutes later, he had scored another one. But before that, Diaz has scored, and Barnes scored again, and they hung on. They hung on defensively, were solid. City got nothing. Yeah, very strange. I think I watched bits of that game, but yeah, City was not able to figure it out. Well, we figured it out, and we figured it out against Newcastle. Once again, they took the lead on. They take lead on us. Yeah, they took lead on us, but we were the one that scored the second goal. Our second goal. So, yeah, congratulations to your sister. Video in the group chat. What? Oh, yeah, Kane was ball watching and got called out by his team. Is that what happened? I thought they said that Ghana had made a terrible pass or something like that. That's what I thought I saw, but maybe I probably had it all wrong. Is that why he was screaming at his teammate? Something weird. Like I said, a lot of weird things happen there. I don't think Keane. I mean, when I first looked at it, like I said Keane pushed first, and then Ghana came back at him, and that's where I didn't notice that he swung at him. Referees, you can see the referee standing right there behind them, so he saw the arm swing. Should he have kicked him out? I don't think so. I think like I said, somebody said use your knowledge. Was he trying to hurt him, or was he just pissed off at his teammate? I think he was more pissed off at his teammate than he was trying to hurt him. But you know what? There's supposedly violent conduct in the sport. If you can do it to your teammate, then I guess you can do it to anybody. So stop it right there. Yeah, it's the second one. It's not even a second one in this case. He's like the push would. I don't think if they pushed each other back and forth, anything bad would have happened. No red card would have been shown. Maybe 2 yellows. But that's what I thought it was. I thought it was the second one, but it turns out one, it was a headbutt. If you read, if you were looking at, like Twitter, like the chat, first it was like a headbutt. It was like, I don't even see a headbutt. And then later on, it was basically a swing. He swung at him, or at least moved his hand towards Keane's face. So I don't think it was violent conduct in that sense, but, I guess you can't do it. I don't know. I think the referee could have just calmed it down. I mean, I think they were just upset that they had given up an opportunity there more than that, but it turned into something bigger, and now it's going to be some. Is Ghana going to be gone? Does he even play again? One of those situations where you swing on a teammate. I don't think the league's going to do any more than give him the 1 games, or is it 3 games because it's violent conduct? Maybe that's they'll just let it sit. Yeah, it was more insane than it was a joke. I guess it's sad. It's sad that they got to the point where one of the teammates swings on another one, and they still won the game. So, some teams mentally are strong. They were strong in that sense. Yeah. Yeah. What? She'll back me, Melina. What? Melissa, Malaya will too. You have Tom and Sam. What is this about? What are you talking about, Rosie? Every time you're trying to pick fights with me, what are you doing? What I do? What I say? Barnes so close to a hat trick. Yeah, he did. He almost got that. But yeah, that game was kind of crazy. So you go up, the other team goes down a man. You think I was just kept reading. People are like, why do they still have three center backs on the pitch? They did not try to put more attackers on the pitch, even though they were upper man. It seemed weird, and it didn't even look like they were going to get a score. Didn't. It seemed like Everton basically had kept them at bay. Yeah, so it was kind of weird. Amarin didn't do a good job of figuring out how to get a goal in a game where he has an extra man, and I think Bruno did get a shot, which looked, you expect him to maybe be able to put it on them, but he didn't. Yep. Okay, he just it's gone. Was that his name? I don't know if that's how you spell his first name. God, yeah, he gave him a little slap. Gave him had to stand on a large box to headbutt. Yeah, no, for sure. That was like I said. The first thing that I heard was a headbutt. And then you can see it's a slap. I don't know if it was a closed fist. Sometimes if it's a slap, it's not that big of it. It's not as big, but it is. I don't know if it's violent conduct. You know, it didn't look like it. Like violent conduct, I think. I understand why that's a red, but there's two teammates going at each other. Calm the situation down. Don't make it worse. And that probably could be a 0-0 game, or Manchester United maybe wins if it's 11 on 11. Yeah. What he's saying hi to everybody. I saw that from a different angle. Yeah, that was. Yeah, I saw it. Yeah, the first couple of times I didn't. They showed it. They didn't show the angle where the hand comes out because you can't really see it because it's just blue shirts. But you see it later on. You can see him move his hand towards his face. I think he does slap him or get him in the face. I don't know if that's violent conduct, but I guess if it was the other way around, he would have got a red, right? So I don't think the rules say it can't be against your own teammate. It says actually, I think the violent conduct actually does say opponent. I don't know what it says about same teammate. I don't know how it's violent conduct against your own teammate when it says something about opponent in the rule. So that was kind of weird. It was kind of weird. Moses with Lightus team are fired up. Yeah, they look good. Moyes, yeah, they look good. When it's not Arsenal, I just sit there to enjoy again so much. Yeah, no, but I think he could have just he didn't need to make that decision, but he did, which is weird because we see kind of worse situations and nothing's been given him in the hands. We saw a player's hair get pulled and nothing was given, right? So yeah, and this went to VAR, which is weird because I think we had a VAR back when maybe the hair was pulled, right? So a little strange. We're good. The wife and I went to Rocky Horror Picture Show for its 50th century season. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I've gone. I did that. I went to one of those showings, I guess years ago. It's pretty cool to see it. Yeah, see it live. Yeah. All right. So before we continue, I've got one of my partners here on the show, one of the hosts, Spencer. How you doing, sir?
Oh. I'm good. Mom just my dad's been out visiting his mother, so he's been away for I don't know since last Wednesday. So Mom's been alone. She just dropped up randomly at 7:25. So yeah. Sorry.
No problem. Yeah. No problem. I've just been chatting here about, I guess, everything but Arsenal. I figured I'll save that a little bit. And then go see what everybody else is chatting about. So everybody's enjoying themselves, it looks like. So yeah. Got Tyrell, Gun and TV in the house. Thanks for joining. Yes. I hope everybody's doing well. Yes. Yeah. Hello. All right. So it was a good football day for me yesterday.
Yeah.
And after the Arsenal, I'll get in. I'll go backwards. But after the Arsenal match, Dallas Cowboys were playing Eagles, and I figured, oh, that's just going to be another loss. And at 21-0, I expected it to be a loss, but Eagles decided to self implode, and 24 points later, Cowboys win. It
Yeah.
was, and the funny thing is, I had one of my neighbors over. He's an Eagles fan. He basically called it. He's like, "You haven't seen us play." I'm like, "I know we should have beat you in the first one, but this one you're up 21-0. I can't see how my team gets back into it, especially when we threw an interception in the end zone and we missed a field goal from our, one of the best field goal kickers in the sport. That's 10 points pretty much gone there. So I figured, oh, the game's over there. But no, Eagles had more in their locker in terms of ways to give up a game.
Yeah, there was the Colts blew the lead to the Chiefs. It was 20-9. Trying to think, someone else blew the lead. Giants blew the lead to the Lions.
There was the 29 point or 26-point swing.
It was something ridiculous. I know
Yeah.
the Giants were beating the brakes off of them and ended up losing in overtime, so much that they fired the interim head coach. But
yeah,
I mean, yeah, I mean, it's funny, like closing games out. I know we're talking NFL right now, but like closing games out is really an art. And the 4-minute offense always talk about the ability to, okay, I need you to burn 2 minutes. That's two different sets of picking up, 3 runs, pick up a first down and everything. Like people just don't know how to do it. And people I talked to, I watched a bit of the Eagles Cowboys game, and I had the red zone going, and most people were saying like, the Eagles stopped running the football, which again, I guess Saquon Barkley got to keep running the ball, right? It was a weird game yesterday. I'm rooting for the Chiefs to beat the Colts, which is weird because I want that number 1 seed, and then just a weird day, just in general.
Yeah. Well, they to some degree they did run it, but they fumbled, right? He fumbled it, if I recall. So
a screen pass, I think. I was told,
but he fumbled. You don't expect him to fumble. So late in the game too, right? When you're trying to see
special
it out.
teams gaff too. Where the guy turned the ball over. It's crazy how that works in the NFL. Like I know people always talk about college and everything, and college, man, you can turn the ball over 3 times and still find a way to win. Where in the NFL, you miss an extra point. That's everything.
Yep.
The game of margins, as they say.
Yes. Yep. They the teams usually play the margins, and that's how they win. Yeah, we get into Eze in a little bit, but let me go through the chat here. Rocky Horror Show at a local theater. Just first saw it in '79, dressed up as Brad and Jeanette. Then went as Frankie in '83 with a different girlfriend, and also in 2006 dressed as the narrator. Oh, cool! You love it. Yeah, I've seen it. Like I said, I've seen it one time. But yeah, it's a cool movie. If you haven't seen the movie, check it out. And it's cool to go see it in the movies where you have the, I guess you call it the fourth wall, or not the fourth wall, but you have just characters in there doing the shows. The Chin one is funny, if you know what I mean. So Spencer, here we go. Everybody saying hello. So Arsenal. I guess we'll go in my usual format. Lineup for me, unless more people were healthy. I was hoping Gyökeres would be healthy, but he wasn't. So we went with our standard formation, standard cast of characters out there. Moreno gets up top, Saka and Trossard out wide, as Rice and Zubimendi in the middle, and our back line, which was I would have been okay if Skelly started, but they went with Calafiori, Hincapié, Hincapie, I think it is. Hincapié, Saliba, and Timber with Ray in the back.
Yeah.
So, and I just figured our defense, it doesn't matter who we put on the back line, we'll be fine. Any questions on any thoughts on the lineup there?
I call for Mascara, but Hincapié is the logical choice. Whereas the Mascara's got a little less experience, but I was good with it. Yeah, we can move on.
Yeah, no problem. I think the whole left foot, right foot thing is why.
Yeah.
And people said, you know what, if you have a player that can play with his left foot, and you don't see a difference, you just play the left foot.
Yeah, I've always laughed at that left foot, right foot thing. Okay, sure, whatever you say.
Yeah. Well, you understand it when when you have to go against you go against a good team. When you go against a bad team, it probably doesn't matter.
Mm.
But if they're supposedly, really good at, they're what, the best team on the road, right?
Yeah, they were coming into that. Didn't last long. Which, again, we'll get into it. But yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah. No, I was just gonna pretty much go where the first 30 minutes of the game. Basically, we came out looking really good. I mean, we had that opportunity within the first 3 minutes
Mm-hmm.
with a nice little chip there from it was sort of Saka to Eza into to Rice, and Rice gets a foot on it, a volley.
Yeah.
I was hoping, it went straight at the goalkeeper. He tried to squeeze it past the goalkeeper, probably through his legs, and not the goalkeeper got down. I was hoping when I first looked at it, I said, "Why didn't he pick a corner? Because if he picks a corner, he scores." But you
Yeah.
can see it happened too fast. He didn't really have a chance. And when you see it from the behind the goal,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he got the shot off really nicely. There's not much more he could do with what he had.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. I mean, it was what I was happy about more than anything was the, as I ramble, the early opportunity, right? Where it wasn't really just that. Whether it wasn't the quality of the chance, the fact that a chance was taken early.
Mm.
Whereas a lot of times we don't see that first shot until like the 15th minute. Not where we're playing for this perfect moment where some would argue, well, you could say they are, but that what was presented to them, they took an opportunity. Rice should have done maybe a little better. I'm not mad at him over it. It's what I want to see, right? Which we get more into it, like the fluidity of what we have formation wise in that midfield is pretty impressive at times when you
Mm.
actually see them and you watch them play and you watch where Rice is positioned, Zubimendi, and they switch off, and then it's a really good midfield right now, especially with Isaiah in there. We'll get, of
Yeah,
course, Isaiah we'll talk about, but
yeah, no, that was a good start. I mean, coming into the game, everybody's waiting for Eza to be the
mm-hmm.
Eza that we went out and got, the Eza that we saw last season. Everybody, well, he didn't really score a lot for Crystal Palace, but you assume he'll score a lot more for Arsenal.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he's got, you know, at least half the goals I think that he scored last season for Crystal Palace already at
Mm-hmm.
when the game ended, and we're
Yeah.
about a third through the season, so if he continues where he is now, right, he'll be double digits in goals by the end of the season, and maybe a 20 GA guy. You know,
Yeah. I mean, with him, I think, my opinion with him is, I'm sorry, I'm going to move this, going comfortable. My opinion with him is it's really about, what you said right there, the 20 goals and assists. And I don't really care if it's goals or assists. I personally, if he did 20 assists, I'd be tickled to death, right? Like but that is accurate. I think you could get 20 goals and assists from him this year. I mean, we're 12 games in. I mean, he didn't join us until what? The Leeds match. So it's possible, probably unlikely, but
well, here's the thing. Just remember, just looking at the Premier League numbers right now, he's our top GA guy,
mm-hmm.
tied with Trossard. So he's got 6.
4 goals, 2 assists. Okay.
Yeah, and just in the Premier League.
Okay, if you're talking
and
20 goals and assists across all competitions,
yeah,
I could absolutely see that.
yeah, and basically in all competitions, he's got 7, tied with Declan. Trossard has got 10. So I mean, we've got, yeah. I mean, I think when we say 20 GA, are we thinking just Premier League? I'm not sure. I mean, I think that's kind of one of the barometers or one of the stats.
I want to argue. I want to say it's all over all competitions. That's the way I want to look at it, because we've talked about this competing on 4 fronts. There's 4 trophies up for grabs. I want to get all of them. This team has a legit chance to get at least 3 of them in my mind, right? Maybe definitely 2.
Mm-hmm.
I'll get into a spoiler, which I think the second one is, but yeah, I think you have to look at it in all 4 competitions. I think that's the best way to judge it.
We've got right now 8 players with at least 5 GA in all comps right now. So double-digit GA for for an Arsenal team, I think if somebody said you're going to get 10 GA and all comps from 8 players,
Mm-hmm.
you'll take it.
Yeah, what do you think? That's 80 goals right there.
You think, so
Well, it's funny. So we talk about the goals and assists, right? And I know we're kind of bouncing around, but not really bouncing around because I think we kind of highlighted the earlier portion of the conversation about the defensive line, the defensive makeup of the back four, and how Gabriel was missing. And it was like, Hincapié, Mascara, Lewis Skelly, Ben White. I'm okay.
Yep.
And there's a confidence level, and again, that also trickles up to that midfield with the Zubimendi, Rice, as a Odegaard, whoever you want to put in there. That plays into that factor as well. Does the 10 goals and assists really matter with 8 different players, or is it the fact that we're also going to concede maybe 20 goals this season in the league? You know what I mean? Like there's that matters, but also like the complementary thing that is the ability to defend well. And even when we give up a cheap goal, it's a beautiful shot from Richarlison, not taking anything away from him, but the opportunity was kind of cheaply earned, and more mental error on us than it was them. But
yeah. Who are you blaming on that?
Zubimendi, you have to. I mean, but again, I also wonder, Raya, why are you so far up? I wonder that too, but mostly Zubimendi.
Yeah,
He had opportunity. He had people he could have passed the ball.
A lot of people want to say Raya, why you are higher up, and then that's where Arteta wants him.
Yeah,
and if you look at the play itself, he's got 3 players he can pass the ball to.
Mm-hmm, absolutely.
He's got Timber in front of him. He's got Saliba, a little bit further back, or he can just go right back to the goalkeeper.
Yeah,
because I don't think Raya is out that wide that he couldn't pass it to him. I think he just was high up the pitch, and that's through the middle. So he had multiple chances to get rid of that ball with two players. You could see it clear as day. You could just tap it to them. That doesn't happen. Yeah. So I think he just fell asleep a little bit there.
Yeah, you got ultimately the guy with the ball. I blame ultimately, because again, it's a cause and effect, right? Sure, we can gig Raya for being high up, whatever. Mm-hmm. I just think for me, the big issue is Zubimendi had opportunities to pass the ball off, got a little cute, don't know what went through his head at the moment, took an extra second on the ball, and he got picked. So,
yep. All right, so let's get into it. So that was the first 30 minutes. Like I said, we started out strong. It started to get a little quiet, which games do, but I think we were still in control. We had taken, I think, 3 shots at that point. They hadn't taken any, because that's just how we roll. They get nothing and they like it. But 30 minutes, this thing starts to warm up for us, and in a 5-minute span, we get 2 goals. First one, Trossard scores on a shot that gets deflected in, but what was nice about it was Mikel Moreno, who I kind of was complaining about because he was never up top. That's the thing about the difference between Gyökeres and I know Tiger and Goon is wondering how long. My understanding is Gyökeres would be available for the Bayern Munich game, so I think that's my understanding, but we'll see if that's true. But it's a muscle issue, so our players seem to come back from muscle injuries pretty fast. But getting back to Moreno, I think you don't have a focal point up top when he's in the game. Because he does, his first instinct is to step back a little bit and not be up there. If you watch most of the times, the last place he wants to be is at the front center of the line, which is nice for Eze because he can get there. And multiple times he's sitting there at the 18 with nobody around him.
That's exactly what I was.
And what's crazy is that shouldn't happen if you don't have a striker, because you know what I mean. Like, have a central point like there, except for Eze's there. In that center part of the pitch, and they kind of just fell asleep, kind of left him.
Well, let me ask you this: given what you saw from Eze, and you watch a lot of the games, especially on Sunday when Moreno starts, Moreno was kind of, falling back at times. He did a lot of the great link-up play for a lot of those opportunities. Of course, the first Trossard goal, I think he's the second Eze goal, maybe. I could be wrong. But my point being is Eze kind of played up at that front role almost to an extent. I'm not saying he was completely striker, but where does he fit in the team as far as is he a left wing? Is he a 10? Is he an 8? You know what I mean? Like, can he also do the job for you up there at striker is my question at this point. And I think the answer to that is potentially yes as well.
Kind of as a
Yes.
yeah,
Playing a false 9 in theory.
I think he could. Oh, for sure he could. For sure he could.
So again, like you have to look at what you got out of him. I mean,
Yeah.
is this something that now? Because again, you said he got pretty much half of what the goals he got last year at Crystal Palace. So you're looking at now in this whole thing is like, does this spark something in him where he goes on a roll?
Yeah.
The confidence is now breeding. I mean, think about him. He grew up, in the academy, and most of his family is Arsenal fans. In that moment, he probably grew up dreaming about that. It's a pretty special thing when you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
But that's something I was thinking because Moreno, man, like he's so good. Like I don't know what position he's the greatest at, right? But I know he's got something that you cannot leave on the bench at times when I watch him play.
Yeah. Well, I think he's definitely a good second or third option, depending on if we're fully strength, he's third option. The way the way Arteta would like to play, I think so. He's a good third option. So we don't. Once again, we lose something, but we gain something when he's on the pitch. So, we've seen it from either he'll be at the end of a shot, or in this case, he was contributing, and that's that nice little lob into Trossard. And like I said, Van der Veer gets there, but it's too late. Ball gets deflected. I think what I liked about I think Trossard was actually trying to shoot at the one of the posts, and he got deflected to the other one. So you'll take it.
I love the vision from I always when I watch plays like that, I really not the person that scores, but the person that sets up the play is what always amazes me. And Moreno, he just Trossard's looking up. I think it was Trossard as and Saka were at the 18, and Trossard he has that ability. When you give Trossard service, right?
Yep.
Like that's where he excels.
Yeah.
And Moreno just. Yeah, if you go look at the heat maps and stuff like that, I mean that's
where I haven't looked at the heat maps. I don't know where he stands. I haven't been using SofaScore in a while, and that usually has a really good heat map, and it kind of shows you the average position of where all the players are. And I haven't seen that in a while because SofaScore has been acting really weird for me. But before we continue, you've got our third member, Tony's finally here after he was in here before me, but decides he wants to be the last one to show up.
I got a ladder man to help me finish the lights, Gary.
Oh, a ladder guy to help him finish up the lights. There you go. You're into the holidays. It's the holiday season over here, and everybody puts their lights up. My lights probably won't come up until probably mid-December.
Why you would do it at that point?
Probably not. We probably won't do it. We'll probably just make sure.
Spencer, just tell him no.
Probably put the trees up mid-December when everybody's here. Probably.
I mean, the longer you procrastinate, the more harder it's going to be. That's what I'm going to say.
Yeah. No, I hear you. Let me go through this real quick because I know there's been a lot. We were so dominant that Gyökeres would have been a risk not worth taking. No, we don't need. We've got, as I said before, and you guys will hear this from me: defense and depth. So we got defense and we got depth. So yeah, no problem there. I think we're good. I haven't really had a chance to look. What are the Arsenal hating pundits complaining about this week? No set piece goal to bitch about. I know we're just too good. We need to stop winning. Yeah, I have not watched a show where I guess the haters, Arsenal or Arteta haters, have said I haven't watched any. I just haven't come across it or been on watched a show where anybody's been talking. So I don't know what they're saying. I don't know how you can say anything bad about this team right now. The late subs or lack thereof and not rotating seems to be the only negative talking point. Yeah. Yes. I guess you could have brought on, but I mean, for me, if you're not going to sub, that means you're going to rotate against Bayern Munich, right?
True.
Because for me, and we'll get into this probably a little bit later, which the more important game, Bayern Munich or Chelsea. So we'll continue. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Did they ever fix the one-day rest for the Palace game? Yeah, they did. They did fix that.
I got a text for the group on that. 1:01 p.m. Still no subs. I text everybody. I was like, yeah, we'll get into it.
Yeah, and we'll get into that. I feel PSG, Bayern, and Inter are better than us in Europe, but I think we could win domestic treble.
Mhm.
I don't know. I mean, I think we can compete with them. Inter, I think we're better than Inter. I think we're better than them now. I believe. I think we're better than them now. I mean, defensively we're solid. They are too, but I think Eza, I think Noni, I think Gyökeres give us that extra that we didn't have.
Yeah.
And then if I want to say in Weary, but it's really if Erdegaard and Saka and Trossard and Martinelli are available, I think we got answers. So
And if you get
yeah,
Gabriel
yeah,
back by the time
yeah,
you either have to face one of those three in a later down the road competition.
yeah, yeah. So I think we competed with PSG last year without a lot of the pieces that we needed, and we got more pieces now. So I kind of felt like yes, we got them early in the season, but I think late in the season we actually played really well without a lot of our pieces,
Mm-hmm.
we're deeper now, right?
Yeah.
We're deeper now. We don't have to be concerned about moving Moreno from midfield, up top and stuff like that. We don't have to do that anymore.
No.
And think we're going to miss anything in the midfield or whatever. All these types of things. So I think we're good. Erdegaard is. I heard I believe he's near. He's close. Is my understanding. That's why I'm.
Don't rush him.
Yeah.
Let him wait.
No, don't rush him. But if he can be on the bench, then he can be on the bench, right? So
Yeah.
Rosie's putting out the links. So check out the links, everyone. Yeah, Zubimendi got his pocket picked. Yeah. Rhea, see, I know people want to complain about Rhea, but I think you complain about Arteta if you complain about Rhea. I think Arteta wants him where he wants him, and that just happens to. I think that was on Zubimendi, his pocket picked. Rhea always plays up there, if you notice. So, yeah.
He's been more dangerous at it this year.
Yeah, but
He's been
that's
a
not
lot
on him.
faster out there.
It's a ball security. If that's Saka, if that's Erdegaard, if that's Eze, I don't think the ball gets taken away like that.
I mean, most of those top teams, when the ball's doing, when the ball's going, like sometimes you'll see them almost put like an extra center back at times. We've seen Ederson do it. We've seen Allison do it, especially when the team has a lot of possession or top side or whatever. But I mean, again, I don't understand the intricacies of it. I understand it. I don't know if I agree with it. I think that's a better phrase. I've seen, when the goalkeepers make they move to the side on goal kicks and all, and I'm just not a fan of it. I understand it. I just don't like it. But I've got to get, like I said, I'm dying on the hill at Zubimendi. I mean, you had opportunities. You allowed yourself to get pickpocketed, bro. So.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it's a mistake that turns into, puts everybody. It's like anything, the weakest link breaks the chain, right? And that's exactly what happened. You got one player breaks down the solid possession that we usually have on the ball, and that causes everything to just break down because now everybody's out of position, and a shot gets taken. I mean, yeah, he doesn't take that shot if Rhea's in position, but if Rhea's in position, the pressure that we put on teams isn't there either.
Yeah.
So you got to take the good with the bad. We're going to play high up like that. We're going to put pressure on the other team. That's why teams don't really anything unless we make a mistake. And it's not on Reyes. It wasn't Reyes' mistake in this situation. So I'm gonna die on that hill. He didn't take his shirt off. Yeah, maybe if he takes his shirt off, it would work out for him because it didn't work out. They're already down 3 goals anyway. So. Eze spends more time leading the line than he does.
Yeah,
he's definitely up there, and he's definitely a focal point. If you watch multiple times, I think Saka early in the game, the little lob to Rice that starts with the Saka crosses the ball all the way through to Eze, and he gets that little chip there to Rice, and
him and Gyökeres are to be interesting going into Boxing Day fixtures and the New Year fixtures.
Yep. No, I mean, well, like I said, I just go back to the Newcastle game. You just take that, and against a team that it will be even better by then. Yeah, we will. We'll score those early goals. I mean, we'll be up 3-4-0 at halftime, maybe if we. Yeah, Tony's pay. needs to be docked. Yeah, he should. Yeah, if I paid him, he would get docked, but I can't. Actually, since I don't pay him, then he needs to pay me for being late. If instead of me, since I don't pay him, he might as well just pay me because he's late.
I'll tell you what. Can we talk about how good timber is, though?
Yeah, you know what? We'll get into that a little bit later.
Golly.
Let's go to we'll go through the next 30 minutes. Yeah. So
Yeah.
the next 30 minutes, right? We're going to the next 30 minutes, and then we get to the my five, and we'll get through everybody, and you'll be able to chat about the people you like. 6 likes, everybody. Hit the likes if you haven't. Uncle Tony turns halftime sub. There you go. He's you know what? He's the anti Arteta. He comes in at halftime. Yeah, yeah. I don't want Bayern to be the season's PSG for us. They're not at full strength, missing Diaz, so we must not let the occasion get the best of us. Well, I don't think it will. I just don't. We're not full strength either, right? If everybody's healthy on our team, I think the makeup of our team looks different, right? If Erdegaard is healthy, then Ezra, and I don't see Ezra playing in the middle there. He'll probably play on the left, right? So we're not probably playing with our full strength team as it is right now, and we probably like I think Jokeros be ready, but I don't know if he'll start. That's the problem.
Yeah.
I would like it, but I don't think so. Rhea needs to read the room and the situation better. He can't read a situation that says my player is going to get the ball taken from him when he has an opportunity to pass it. That we've seen it too many times. That's the same way. If you remember, when City scored on us, one of our players tried to dribble into like no man's land, had the ball taken off of him, and next thing you know, counter, and then you've got Haaland running by himself against Gabriel, who made a business decision not to go in and stop him. So that started from us trying to do too much, and that was Zubimendi trying to do too much.
Yeah, agreed.
Nobody's going to score on us just because they're a better squad and they have better movement when the ball. Maybe they make better runs. None of that. They're only going to happen when either we make a mistake, and when we make mistakes, I see it every time. They go 150%. They take advantage of whatever they can because they don't get chances. They had 2 shots on target, and guess what? They were all after we had scored 3 goals.
Well, here's the thing with that also. So you look at the 5 goals that have been conceded in the league. You've got Salisbury with a really amazing shot, whatever. That's, world-class free kick. And then you got Haaland, world-class player. And then the alternative, Richarlison, that was a nice attempt. Give him credit, And then the other 2 goals that were conceded because we got bullied.
Yep.
So is something else?
Bad defensive night. That was a bad defensive night.
Bad defensive night, but you also got bullied. You still got they outmanned.
No. That's why it's a bad defensive night. We don't get bullied, right? So we're having a bad day in the office.
And that's 5, and those are you could sit there and look, and say, definitely could have been better in that in the Sunderland. So like the Liverpool one, don't concede the foul. That's the only thing I can say to. They'll see the foul in that section.
He got the ball first, and supposedly you get the ball first. Supposedly when you get the ball first, because if you get the ball first, then there's no foul. We know this, right? We know this because we saw this in the Newcastle game, that if the defender gets to the ball first, it doesn't matter if there's a foul afterwards because they got to the ball first. And he got to the ball first. Supposedly.
Well, we're talking technicalities right now.
Well, you want it to work this way to make your narrative, but we had a PK taken away from us for the exact same reason why. In this case, guess what? Right? So, pick your point. We got burned by it twice. Yeah.
Possibly.
No, not possibly. We did.
Tony, let's just agree.
Gary's being one of the conspiracy theorists.
That's a Middle Eastern.
I'm just saying that there was contact first, but he did take out the player.
Spencer, watch out for the refs. They're going to get us.
Yeah, I mean,
he's been caught twice by the same team, and guess what? It didn't matter. It didn't cost us this time.
Arsenal were so good on Sunday that Michael Oliver didn't even have an opportunity to screw us over. He's like, there ain't nothing I can do here. It's too late.
Taking shots from outside the box, there's nothing they can take away. Like, let them
Oliver's like, what do I do?
Yeah. All right,
Like, I want them to lose.
so like I said, let's get into it because I was trying to get to the next 30 minutes of the game. Yeah,
Yes.
and
All right. So are we at the 60-minute mark?
we're inside the 60-minute mark, so
Okay.
we're gonna go basically halftime onward, right? So halftime because that's where all the craziness happens.
Mm-hmm.
Less than a minute in. Well, they first bring on Javi Simmons to help them maybe get a little bit, open up their attack, help their attack out a little bit, but it helped. It didn't really work, right? Because, and I ran through this play, and the ball goes to Timber. It goes out of bounds.
Mm-hmm.
Timber throws it in. It gets taken away. Saka actually closes down on the ball, gets it back. Tries to make a pass. It gets deflected. It ends up with Timber. Timber passes it straight to Eze. Eze makes his little move and goes to the far post, scores. And you're like, because the reason why I go through that whole sequence is, I think as far as our attacker, Saka was probably he's probably at the bottom. I mean, he did a lot of stuff because I think you do a lot of work if you play for Arsenal, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he didn't stand out. Right, he didn't get an assist. He didn't get a goal. He got a lot of passes before. The pass before the pass kind of thing, or the work that you don't notice. But that's why I bring
Sacker
that up.
didn't do it for you, Gary. Sacker didn't do it.
Like I said, he was probably the worst one, and that's just saying because everybody else played better. As it played better.
I like how Gary thinks Arteta and him are Pirates.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Well,
yeah.
I don't know if I totally agree.
Well, Eze is the best.
Talking of the top three, you're not going to top Eze. That's not going to happen.
So, and Trossard had a really good day.
Trossard had a goal. I mean, you're not going to top that unless you score. I don't.
Him and Moreno and Saka did a lot of work. Whether or not they didn't, none of that work shows up.
Well.
Moreno actually got the assist, so he actually did put a ball in and actually got put away. All right, Saka of the four attackers, right? You're gonna go by our four attackers. Saka had the worst day.
Offensively, sure.
No, but that's what we need from Mario. That's how you quantify it. Because if Martinelli has a really good day defensively, he doesn't score. We look at it and go, I don't think you had a good day because your primary job is to contribute to goals.
You don't get that Eze goal if Saka doesn't win that ball back for you.
Exactly. That's exactly why I went through the whole sequence. But
I know I'm agree. I say that, but my point being, and we said this on Saturday, is the wingers at Arsenal are expected to be in the defensive play at all times, trying to win that ball back. And I just feel it's unfair. I mean, when you're looking at the other attackers and what they did, of course he's going to be behind them. And you could argue the main primary job, sure, but it's a total.
It's not a bad thing. It's just like saying
I don't think you're saying it as a bad thing.
Everybody breaks four people break the world record. You finish fourth.
Yeah.
Did you have a bad day? Yes. You don't even get to go on the podium.
And in theory, when you argue it, compared to my peers, yes, I had a worse day, but compared to records and answers, it's a tough one. I think I'm going to shut up because I feel like I'm arguing semantics at this point. Where I'm
it definitely is words. It definitely is words. It's one of those things where I just won't vote. It's not. We just won't vote on. He doesn't get a vote. He's not on the ballot kind of thing. Not because he's bad, just because I can't.
Apparently, neither is Spencer. Spencer is not on the ballot.
Yeah, no. So that's as a game goal early in the first minute of the first minute of the second half. Very nicely put away. He was having a good day. I think later on he did have an opportunity to score what would have been his hat trick. But the goalkeeper gets a hand on it and pushes it out.
You sure that wasn't the last shot?
You think it was the last shot when he was going for four?
Yeah, because he had a fourth. Well, there again. Okay, so how do you feel about this? Because I know we might be heading against the sequence, but that fourth attempt, Saka, instead of taking the shot himself, hands it to Eze. How do you feel about that?
No, I'm just saying he either had the pass before the pass or his guy didn't make the shot.
No. He was going to give up an opportunity to shoot on target to give it for Eze to get a fourth goal.
Yeah, And it was a good shot, right? Like for me, I don't know about you, but I feel like if somebody's going to take the shot from the 18, for me, it's either you see the Eze or Zubamendi.
Sackett, I thought Sackett. We go back and talk about Sackett's free kicks. The first free kick I thought was really good.
The second one that he put right there, and the goalkeeper gets a hand on it, right?
Yeah.
Because the first one goes over. The second one that he has that gets on target is basically that's on target. That's on target. The first
That's
one
why
was
I'm defending Saka a little bit. I thought.
yeah. No, I know. I'm with you. I'm always I'm a Sacker man, but I'm
How
just saying.
stupid was it for Spurs to set up their players right at the 6-yard box? I mean, let's think about this from a perspective. All I got to do is get a flick off of someone, and then it's in the back of the net. All right, whatever. I'm not coaching Spurs, so.
It's insane how you can get a goal in under a minute. Just how unprepared your defense has to be for that to happen.
Yeah.
So we're at the next 30 minutes. So we've already really hashed over Zubamendi and Raya. Don't want to reopen those wounds.
Carry does
3-1.
Yep.
Right. What was your gut feeling at this point?
I was disappointed that we gave a shot on target and then it was a goal once. You know,
well,
we barely give up goals on target, and when we do, it seems like they're going to go in because they don't happen too often. So the odds are in everybody else's favor that they might score because they don't get chances to even shoot, much less put them on.
It's usually on a press or a counter attack or both of them.
Yeah. No, it's and you know there was multiple ways it could have stopped. Zubamendi could have passed it anywhere. Does the chicken man take that shot 10 times? How many times does he make it? Same situation.
It's a good question.
I mean, some people think he takes that 100 times. He misses 99.
For some reason, I'm pitching a leghorn, a foghorn.
Yeah, because I think sometimes if Ray gets his fingertip on it, it probably goes off the crossbar and falls aimlessly away.
I mean, my argument is going to be that I don't know, man. It's a wide open net. I mean, I think he probably hits it more than that. But again, like he lofts it. That's the crazy thing about it. It wasn't just like Rice had one earlier, try to get the carry on. I think later in the game, and it was way off. But
you've seen Eze try one of those long shots as well. I think. And,
I think Eze could hit one of those.
Yeah,
I think he could. But again, Carlson had all the time in the world to sit there and.
Well, if you saw it, because I saw it, and Saliba steps away because he's like, well, he's so far from the goal, and not knowing that, guess what, his goalkeeper's so far off the line that he actually, if he steps to him, he might even hesitate. He might put a little bit more extra into it, a little bit low. You know what I mean? But he doesn't know that. He can't look behind him and say, I know where my player is. So he kind of hesitates a little bit and gives him the time and space that he's able to take that shot with no pressure.
That's where we miss Gabriel at.
Yeah, Gabriel probably will be in that situation, and he might be calling to him, get that ball out of there. Where's the leadership? Get that ball. You got company, kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Yep. So the squad we have right now, this is the best shape we have been at the Christmas Crunch games. I hope so. Arsenal miss it. We'll see. Right now, we'll see when they come back. Hopefully, they're all back by then. At the end of the day, Ray is the last line. He is. But he got set up a little bit.
Which again, I think there's a world if you want to blame both players.
Yep.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
I just think the players are set up to fail.
I think if we do what you say, Tony, it will look totally different, and you will go, why are we not able to put as much pressure on the other team? That's what I think. I think so. Yeah. A fan from the other team said Sacco was Oliver stepson. Oh boy.
Wow.
Yeah, we still have Habits coming back that does the grunt work really well. Yeah, he does. Him and Erdegaard pressing up top is crazy football. It's crazy. But I'd like to think Gyökeres has shown he can do it too. So we'll see if he comes back just as healthy as he left, because he was able to put pressure as well. So I think it's one of those things where you have to learn how to play Arteta's way.
Yes.
For me, on our attack, Saka and Timber are not meshing like White and Saka do. This has affected Saka in a number of games. I mean,
Absolutely not.
I
No,
don't. Yeah,
no. Timber is so no. I respectfully disagree with that. I
because
think
There's
he does come up and come. He does attack the back line. You'll see it. It doesn't look
yeah.
the same as White, but you see him do it. Um, and like I said, the as a pass that ends up with Rice, that starts with Saka. So he's not keeping us from attacking when he's there. So I think
There's a name missing from that. So I used to break this down in my mind. They call them triangles, right? Basic whatever here. But Odegaard would sit on that side with Saka and White. And that was that thing that made that thing click. You almost need a third person in that to really make that click. Because if you watch it, especially go back and next time you guys are watching, we're going to probably see a lot at Chelsea this weekend. You'll see Saka and White there, and that person that usually it's Odegaard, Moreno, whoever it is, needs to come in to help in that support. And that's what made that super successful is Odegaard on that side. But yeah, and BX, this is a good point here. Saka benefit from the White overlapping and Timber inverts, but now you're seeing Saka overlapping, and so it changes. But Timber's so good, man.
yeah, no, you can't take the best one, the best right back and say
Oh my
you
God.
don't take you out of the game because
I'll die on that hill right now that Urian Timber is the best right back in the Premier League right now. I will fight somebody over that. I'm telling you.
That's the whole thing, right? We talk about Martinelli.
Transfer market agrees with you, and he's
no, but that's the whole thing. Like everybody's like, I like
League
Martinelli's defense, and it's like
right
that.
back.
That can't be the first thing you talk about, right?
Gary, he's worth $59 million.
Who is?
Timber. He's
We're
the
not selling him, so stop that.
Most expensive right back in the league.
Oh yeah, but we didn't spend that for him, so
I'll tell you what, and this.
But he's worth that.
He's worth way more than that, in my opinion.
I thought it was a little low too, but.
Well, again, like, how do I want to say this? I forgot. You got me thinking. My buddy. Okay, so yeah, my buddy Matt texted me, and we were talking about who's your player of the season. This was about game 5, maybe 4, and he mentioned Timber. He's like, man, you gotta watch Timber. Just watch Timber more. And I've been watching him every game. Just do yourselves a favor. He's on the TV the majority of the time because he's by the most. I think he had 71 touches on Sunday, but just watch him, man. Like he's defensively so sound. Makes good passes, makes good runs. I get excited talking about it because I love watching him play. Very passionate about Urian Timber, and carry on.
We're gonna have a Rolodex of plays of the year because Gabriel could have been your player of the year at early part of the season.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, Timber has been consistent, just like Gabriel, right?
Yeah.
We've had the ups and downs with Raya, but I mean, some people will look at Trossard and say, you know what? Do we need that left wing right now? He's playing well, and if that's Raya and him switching off time, we'll be fine based on what we've seen so far from Trossard. I mean, Trossard is our top GA guy right now in all comps right now with 10, right? So he's got he's the first one in double digits in GA on this squad who's lost no games outside of the cup in any of the cups, and then he's only lost once.
It's crazy for as little as he's played, Gary, that he's over 70 GA.
Yeah, he's effective, and that's why he doesn't need to start. He's like I said, a little bit like our little Jota, right?
Yeah, but you seen what was starting got you.
Well, starting gets you stuff, but can he do it? We'll see. We'll see if he plays.
He's done it before, Gary.
We'll see if he plays these. These are 3 of our toughest games. This is our 3. I think this is our 3 toughest game stretch this season. I don't think we have another one like this until you get into the knockout rounds. Maybe we might have some.
Gary, can you get more consistent than 7 goals in 10 games? Because that's what he finished 2 seasons ago with.
Yeah.
But guy doesn't get enough credit.
No, I would like I said, I would have sold him at the beginning of the season if they told me we are going to get a left wing. Yeah, they were going to go out there and get Rodrigo. I said, go ahead and do it. But I'm happy he's here. They decided they're going to keep him, so if they're going to keep
He
him,
has to be helping as they.
I don't know. I think everybody helps everybody in this thing. So it doesn't matter who's on the pitch. I think they all contribute eventually. So I think we're doing really well. That's right. Eze with the first hat trick. Tiger Guna says here. Alan Sunderland, 48 years ago, 2 days before Christmas. So yeah, I think if I read it, if I listened to them correctly, there's only been four hat tricks in
Total.
in the Derby. So there you go.
That stat was pretty impressive to me, to think how many times they've played and how many times that has actually happened. You got to figure. That's crazy. But when you kind of think how the game's progressed and how it used to be and everything, it's kind of believable at the same time. But
I'm sure they probably used to play closed door games against each other too at one point.
Yeah, at some point, get nothing. Saka doesn't have to carry the team on his back anymore. He doesn't. I mean, we don't. You don't know where the goal is going to come from anymore. You always thought it had to go through Saka, and it's like it doesn't. It doesn't. Most of our free kicks were not great this game. Even Rice. I don't know about that. If you remember, Saka's was just the first one was just off by about a foot, and the second one he had. Remember, it went.
I think those two were pretty decent, and I know the first one was a little bit high, but they got a second shot at it, and that was, I mean, spot on.
I don't know. I mean, maybe our corners weren't great because I know a lot of our corners didn't make it past the first man.
Yeah, corner. I think we only had like 4 corners the whole game. It wasn't a lot of corners. It wasn't.
Yeah. I don't think you're right. I don't think it was that many corners as well.
And I know Rice missed the first man on one of them. It was pretty poor, actually.
Yeah, let me see what it says here. Corners. Yeah, we only had 4. So it's hard to say you had bad free kicks when you had 4 corners.
All right, so I got Rice took a corner, Madueke took a corner,
Madueke took one. That's late in the game, so that means we had 3 with our starters basically.
Yeah, and I don't think the Madueke one I think came super late too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Ray did his best Seaman impression. Come on, stop that. He's been good for us, man. Saka benefited so much from white overlapping timber inverts. Yeah, it's a different way to play. Saka can play either way, though, I think. And teams, you know what? I think when we're fully healthy and if Gyökeres figures things out, I think we'll be all right. Even Erdogan was playing the right, was struggling. I'll not say Timber's bad. He's just not as good as going forward. Okay, so if you look at the stats, he's doing all right.
There's a preference there too, right? And I think this is the reality here because we talk about 2 different styles of fullbacks. You got overlappers, you got the inverteds. Both do 2 different things. I think California inverts way more than Timber.
Yeah.
And I'm probably sure the heat map backs that up.
Here's the thing: we are one of the top scoring teams in the Premier League.
Yeah,
we're doing all right in the Champions League. I don't think our attack's that bad. I think we're just taking what the other team gives us. If they, and we're making them pay. Right? We are tied for what? I think we have more. Do we have? Yeah, I think we have more goals. We're tied for the top of the league right now with City. We've got a better goal difference, of course. So, as bad as everybody is saying, we're doing all right. We're doing all right right now. The right misfit agreed. Yeah.
You mentioned something earlier. I don't know if you want to pivot to it, but I'll just if you keep on going, I'll bring it up.
All right, let me go. Yeah, hold on to that. Hold that thought. Sorry, guys, but having Saka overlap Timber takes Saka away from goal, so he's not in position to score. He has overlap, but he really does it. Here's the thing. Like I said, there were 2 or 3 passes for Saka to Eze. So, I kind of felt like it's not. Maybe it's the pass before the pass now. And you know what? Eventually, things will teams will try to stop us in other areas, and then Saka will get more space and time and room to score, and he'll be fine because you've seen it. Nothing's going on. He gets the opportunity to score, and he scores. So, I think like I said, we're not that bad in scoring goals right now. What we had the most open play goals in November. After being considered set piece FC for the other 3-4 months of the season. So I think we're doing all right. I like to see Saka invert and Timber go out wide more. Timber needs to up his crossing. Yeah, I think when Saka inverts, he just passes it to Eze, who's sitting there. The teams don't know. I think somehow, he's never. It doesn't seem like that overlap's gonna work the way. I think it just works differently now. Even yesterday when we were struggling in the first half, he wouldn't run out wide, whereas White would take it. I get that. I hear you. From Drake to Sunderland to Eze, nearly the same time gaps in between. So it's not that easy to do. Hat trick in the North London derby. There you go. This is set up so everyone can score. I could care less who runs wide, overlaps, or interchanges as long as the ball in the net. The fact that our defenders is a testament to how well we are. Yeah. Like I said, we're taking what the teams give us and we make them pay. So
I think to an extent.
Yeah. You're right.
So to an extent, I think my thing is that we need to have multiple ways to skin a cat.
Somebody's making a lot of noise. I don't know. Is that you, Tony?
Shouldn't be.
Let me see if it's me. It could be me. I don't think it is, but
somebody's air conditioner is running high, or
I don't have AC.
Or fan.
It might be the refrigerator again.
Your refrigerator is really loud. That was it seemed like somebody just turned it on.
Yeah.
You probably should have your refrigerator running all the time, Tony.
I do, but I think it's about time for a new one.
No, you better go. You better go get it before it runs away.
No, it sounds like you're trying to. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you know what, BX? No need. The fact that he got to play, this means we're gonna have him running against some hopefully tired back lines when he comes in. So, yeah, Chelsea scoring would be nice. We've had Eze do it, right? Why not Noni? Yeah.
You just see me holding on to a moving, walking icebox.
Oh, so your fan, it just went down. So I don't know what happened there. So I can still hear it, but it's not as high. All right, so let's get into the last 30 minutes. Trossard gets the ball, and I think that doesn't sound good. You're telling me that thing is working? If that's your refrigerator, that sounds like, you know what? You've got gremlins inside your refrigerator.
The white noise.
And their foot is slipping off the treadmill that runs your refrigerator.
We do have Gremlins 3 gracing us in 2027, so maybe it's some Gremlins in there.
Yeah. Boy Dio joins us.
Spiking us, buddies.
Yeah. So like I said, that Trossard pass to Eze, defender slips, he shoots, scores. That's the last goal of the game. Good way to get a hat trick.
I just like how lethal Trossard is with passing.
Yeah. No. Good day. And let's see, the assists. Moreno with 1, Timber with 1, Trossard with 1. Who else? Declan Rice. Four different assist makers, right? So there you go. Everybody got a chance. We won.
Emphatically.
Yes,
but only Eze could kick it in the back of the net.
You know what? It was his day. Everybody had opportunities. Saka had an opportunity. I think he was a little wide on one of them. Got a save on another, I think.
As much as we control the game, Gary, it almost seems like we used to get one of those weird results when you get 8-1 against the top 6, where they just dominate you totally.
I think we're that good, though. I always said we were good to get 3 goals on anyone, so we'll see if that plays out. All right, so Spencer, you said you had something you were saving up.
Oh yeah, so you said this week is the biggest week. I probably agree.
Getting louder. I'm going to mute yourself, Tony, until you have to talk.
So, you got you've got Bayern on Wednesday. That's in the Champions League, and I want to pull that table up real quick just so I can. Someone has it probably memorized by that point, but Munich's number 1. They were number 2, tied on goal difference. Big game, but I still think the Chelsea game's bigger. I do, and I know. I think we talked about this last week. Maybe 14 points got you into that final 24, and there's 5 more Champions League games. So again, I'm not trying to say I don't care about the Wednesday game, but the massiveness of the Chelsea match this weekend. And I was looking at the table. Arsenal's sitting at 29 points. I think Chelsea's at 23. City's at 22. When you think of the players, right? So, and I get the numbers are the numbers, and Villa's sitting in 4th and everything. But my argument is, and Palace at 5th, my argument is going to be, do you believe Palace could roll out and do what Arsenal potentially is going to do? Is Villa going to do that? And the answer is no, right? The reality is the people that are competing for the title is Arsenal, City, and Chelsea. I don't want to count Liverpool out, but they're probably done, right? I mean, they're not going to figure their form out. But Liverpool have a squad good enough that could roll off 30 points, 10 straight wins if they needed to. City could do that. I think Chelsea's interesting. We watched them kind of slowly get good, but they've also lost in 4 games. So my point being is, like, this weekend, man, you beat Chelsea and you're 9 points clear of them. And I think that's massive.
Yeah. And you know what? Worst case scenario, I mean, you're 9 ahead of Chelsea, but your worst case scenario is 7 ahead of City. So
yeah, City plays Leeds, and we don't know what you're going to get out of Leeds. Leeds played Villa really good on Sunday. So I don't know what I do know about Arsenal, and I think, as we get further into the story and everything, I do know that Arsenal is probably going to win the majority of their games, at bare minimum draw, right? I don't know what consistency I have from a City. I don't know what consistency I have from a Liverpool, because the thing that I'm excited, and I can, and I'm sure you are too, when you look at that league standings and everything, and there's opportunities to have this thing, I mean, handily wrapped up by March. It could happen. With that being said, I think Arsenal is Arsenal's biggest opponent right now. The games when we sit there, we can't break someone down on a low block. That's what scares me. Chelsea doesn't scare me. City doesn't scare me. Liverpool doesn't scare me. Arsenal, when they get in their own head, they can't figure out another way to win. That's when I worry.
And that's when we throw your guy Kai out there and he saves the day.
There we go. Listen, this is going to be a 25-man squad effort here. This really is. You've been chasing this now for 20, 21 years or so. It doesn't matter how it happens at this point. I don't care about. I don't want to hear this. Well, the leagues, there's no real challenge. I don't care. That's on them. If this thing's wrapped up by February, then so be it.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Tony, I'm going to say just mute yourself unless you have to say something, because it's really loud.
Your fridge is
still
not
loud.
going to make it.
It is very loud. I don't know if you moved closer to it or you are inside of it now. Let me go through this chat real quick.
It did eat me, Gary.
Oh, man. Here we go. Yeah, he was close to an Arshavin night. He was. We can afford to rotate for Bayern and still go strong. Chelsea, yeah, I mean, I think we can definitely do that. The thing is, the rotation, right, is, can we rotate in the midfield? Can we rotate in the midfield? Who's coming out?
It's a home game, so I'll tell you who I think is surprising. I think will start, and I think Skelly gets a start on Wednesday.
But what about Gary's buddy, Waneri?
I don't think he gets a start in this one.
Not yet.
I want him to get. Here's the thing. I say minutes. Everybody says starts, and that's where I'm like, no. It's and this was even last year when everybody's complaining. Why isn't he playing? And I said I just need him to get minutes. He wasn't even getting minutes. That's the problem. He should be able to get minutes. He should be able to come into a game if Ez is on 3 goals and it doesn't look, we can rest him. You can bring in and then Waring and let him see out the game. You're up 4-1 at that point, right? That's 70 minutes gone, I think, when he scores. That's about 20 minutes you can take off the legs of an Eza and see the game out, right?
Yeah.
I mean, so that's what I mean by he should get minutes. I mean, yeah, that's how I think that should play out. We always would pull out Erdogan, right, late in games, right? All the time we'd pull him out. Like if we're going to do that, and you can bring in very fresh legs, or we usually pull him out and put a defender in, So I think there's minutes there. It depends on how Arteta wants to use them. So, but if the midfield is, like I said, that's the midfield. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Gary, I think you just said pull out way too many times.
I did. I'm going to move on. Yeah, we are going to sink Chelsea. We are worst team they could be playing next. Yeah, for sure. Well,
they're playing really good right now, and don't sleep on them. I know I'm probably giving them a lot more credit than I probably should, but
who has a harder game this week, us or them?
They play PSG, if I recall, or Barcelona, one of the two.
It's
I can't remember
Barcelona.
I think
our game's harder.
I mean, our game's definitely harder, but we're a better team. So,
but again, it's harder based on record, or it's harder based on playing style. Because you could argue that Barcelona is probably going to be a little bit more of with Chelsea, that's going to be more back and forth game. Whereas I feel like our game can get very stalemate, very it wouldn't shock me if it's like a 1-1 draw or a 0-0, and it would shock me. But again, tougher game. That's all relative.
And I think Arteta would be happy with just the point.
Well, here's the thing to remember about Chelsea, too. Chelsea are also looking at no Cole Palmer because he has that broken toe. That's massive. They still got talented players that put the ball in the back of the net, but not having to see Cole Palmer probably helps you out.
I think he was in practice today.
Was he?
I thought I saw something because I usually try to bookmark things, and I thought I saw something about him actually practicing. I believe they had a picture of him, and it looked like he was practicing. So I think, if he's iffy or whatever, I think he might be. And let me see if I can find it now.
Well, it would be a big plus for us to not have to see him, in my opinion.
Yeah. Let's see if I can see.
He's a big X factor for them.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a guy. If you need a goal, doesn't matter. He can find a way to get you that goal, no matter how things are going. So,
Gary's lost his bookmark.
Yeah.
I know that they reported it like right.
Yeah, it says here. Today about 3 hours. I don't know if this is legit or not. Cole Palmer is back in full team training with Chelsea today, as he steps up his return from injury. So it just says he's in practice. Whether or not he will play is the next question.
Well, that could also be a sub, right? That could be like sub tomorrow, sub on Sunday.
Oh no, it says here he'll miss the game. Actually, so
tomorrow or Sunday?
Yeah, he'll miss the Barcelona game. And you know what? And he will. You're right. He will miss both games, so he won't be available.
Well, then that's a positive.
Yeah, so that's somebody else saying that. So yeah, so I think he's practicing, but he's not ready to go.
Yeah, I don't know how much rotation we're actually going to see tomorrow or Wednesday. I really don't know. I do agree with Arsenal Misfit's statement here about seeing us make some subs at the 65th minute. I don't know if you need to make 4, but I would like to see. Again, it really will depend on how that game is playing out, and if Arteta views this as. Remember that stretch was the stretch last year where we beat Tottenham. We had the Champions League game against Atalanta, and then you had the City game that following Sunday.
And that was do you think it's gonna be heavy rotation again?
No, I just don't. You could see, to me, you could see a Scully. I still think you see the same midfield again. And
Gary, we're not getting Winery.
I do think I think this is a game where you could get away with playing him. I don't know if you start him. I don't. You can't set Eze after 3 goals on it. You just can't do it. Like,
yeah. Now I'm looking at the projected lineup that this foot mob has, and they have Norgard and Wary playing in the midfield.
That's just too much. I would be okay. Like, no guard.
I don't know about that. I mean, they were talking about Kane and Gnabry, Elise, Kimmich that you have to deal with. I mean, I just think that's a lot.
Yeah.
Without having like Zubamendi in there, I think you're asking for trouble. But like I said, I think we need to do some sort of rotation, or like you said, at least make sure these guys are on a time restriction. Not because they can't, but because you want them to be available.
Well, here's the thing also. If you're going to potentially bring back an Odegaard, if you're going to bring back a Bjorkeres, and let's say they make the match day squad, you're looking at, 70th minute, come on for 20-minute cameo, 25-minute cameo, give an extra time as well. If that's in the thinking as well. But I think this is a game for a Skelly too, man. I think he's got that physicality where I'm not saying that Calafiori can't do it, but I also want to manage Calafiori's minutes.
Yeah.
I think you could get away. You'll probably see Timber. You'll see Gabriel. You'll see Hincape. You'll definitely. I mean, for me, it's and Skelly. Subamendi starts. Rice starts. Eze starts. Probably Trossard. Probably Moreno, and probably Saka. I could see one change.
I don't think we will be that strong.
Well, I'm just reading one of their reports. It says that Odegaard and Gyökeres were fighting to get back into the North London Derby squad. So that means they're close and more. They could be available at the worst case scenario for a Chelsea match.
So our next match after Chelsea is December 3rd, which is a Wednesday against Brentford. That's, I believe, a home game.
Yeah, we're going to work fully for that.
Following Sunday, Saturday, you've got Villa. That's a 7:30 kick. So I'm looking at this right now. You're going to have to do some rotation on this one to get players ready for this kick on. Because what you can't do is you can't sit here on tomorrow, and let's say Gyökeres and Odegaard are there. A bare minimum, Odegaard's there. You got to put him on for a little time against Bayern Munich. You can't. I don't think you can get away with starting him unless you say, "Hey, I think you can give me 60." Again, it still seems too much. It's good to go around and say, "Okay, here's a full 90 against Chelsea." I think this is, we're looking here at these matches, and I know I'm projecting down the line, but also thinking of man management. You've got Villa on the 6th. Then you have the Champions League on the 10th against Club Brugge.
Both, like the Brentford, the Club Brugge, those are rotated squads.
Yes. Yeah.
So you got the only thing we really have concerns about, at least for me, right now, is these next 2 games, because those are they're pretty big in the sense of what you can get if you win, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But in reality, I think after that you're rotating, right? Because Brentford, Villa, Bruges, Wolves, Everton, Crystal Palace, Brighton, Villa, Bournemouth, and then Liverpool. There's only a few games in there where you're like, we have to have our top players in there, right? And that's probably, maybe Villa. We play Crystal Palace in that midweek game, right? So that might be one of those. So, like I said, I think.
It should be interesting when we start playing every 2 to 3 games.
Yeah, well, we're already here. That's already here. We're playing every 3 to 4 days right now. Not every 2 days. That nobody's playing 2 days. Every 3 days we're playing.
They do sometimes, Gary.
No, but we don't have any of those. We don't have any. We have.
We were scheduled.
Well, you're right. We play on the 20th and the 23rd, but we have, but then it's a 4-day gap, and then it's a 3-day gap, and then it's a, 4-day gap. So, we don't play them in a row. You get maybe 3, and then you play on a from the 20th. Let's see, from the 20th to the 27th, you have 3 games. I mean, that's 8 days, right? So, yeah, you get 2 days rest in between one, and then you get 3 days rest in between another. So.
Yeah, so if you're going to do the rotation, you could start differently, but I think you have to leave those options. Your normal starting 11. If I'm going to pull a player off, you're making the bench bare minimum, right? And it's going to be one of those, okay, break glass in case of emergency, or hey, we're up 3-1. I want Odegaard to come on for the final 10 minutes. Again, I'm looking at this schedule, and this is the toughest week here, and VX is absolutely right. I don't think you can sleep on anybody in this league, but also I think if you're going to struggle and you're going to drop points, I mean, again, you can't control everything when you play these games anyway. So again, Gary's right about this. The next 2 games, who gives a shit about December 3rd and December 6th? But I'm looking at it, Wolverhampton, Everton coming up. Everton took a good 3 points today off of United. You've got the quarterfinals of the EFL Cup coming up 2 days before Christmas. 2 days after Christmas, you got Brighton. I believe that's a home game. And then you got Villa on the day before New Year's Eve, which is the 30th. And then, of course, January 3rd, that Saturday, you have Bournemouth at 12:30. And then the following week, you've got Liverpool coming back. Yeah, so there's matches that you need to manage. And so, again, I don't want to rush players back tomorrow to pick up 3 points in a league format when the reality is, as long as you get between 1st and 8th, you're getting that bye anyway, right? And, I mean, I'm looking at the other Champions League games here. And, again, I don't want to disrespect anybody, not that they're watching me in America talk about them. But Club Brugge, you've got Karat is another one of the teams.
That's late in January, right?
Right. My point being is you've got places to make up points in the Champions League if need be. Yeah. So we've got Karat, and then you got Inter. Inter's going to be a tough game, but I mean, if you take care of business against Club Brugge and Karat, you're looking at 18 points. That's more than good enough to get to the top 8.
Yep, and we go through this chat because we're actually sitting at time, but we will continue to talk a little bit. But yeah, I think Liverpool, they're back 11 points from us right now. Even if they, like you said, if they went on and won, 10 out of 10, that would mean we would have to drop points in 6 games, or drop or lose 4. I'm not sure we're gonna see that. I don't think we're that bad, right? But we're gonna lose 4 games in a 10-game stretch. So I think we're doing good against them, but just everybody else. Chelsea game is bigger because it counts at the end of the season. The Champions League resets after this round, so it does. Yeah, I just think we need to rotate so we're not going into the Chelsea game with players that maybe we're hitting close to red and we can't use them at all. So that's kind of the how do you play that out? And who gets to rest? But somebody needs to rest. Whether that's Saliba, I don't know if he can rest in Saliba, but I don't know. Maybe you can bring Skelly on when the players come out, right? So at least that much. Hincapia, maybe he doesn't have to play back-to-back games. Or Calafiori, who just came back from an injury, right? I mean, Calafiori just came back early because of an injury. Maybe you give him a break because he just came back from an injury. I mean, that's why he didn't play. Italy needed him and sent him away. They wouldn't do that if they didn't think he was injured, right? They needed him to win that game, and they sent him away. City are about to fall out the title race unless we let them back in. Yeah, that's one reason why it's important to us. But I think it's important for us to, statement, 3-game stretch, you win all 3. Worst case scenario, you win the 2 Premier League matches, and then the league is on notice that, because that you get it, you will gain at least a point on the team that's second, because if City were to drop points, then you're looking at a 9-point swing there, right? If City wins at 7, as long as you win.
If you get with 2 wins and with 1 draw, you're there. You happy?
Yeah, no. We're gonna play to win, but we're just gonna have to rotate and figure out the best way to rotate and give players some rest, or at the least make a halftime sub, not because we have to, because we need to make sure our players are rested.
I mean, this is the reality here too. Like,
Yep.
you want to go out there and try to win every game. I do think there is a world where if you do lose bad to Bayern on Wednesday, it could have a ripple effect. I don't think it will happen.
Well, it's hard to say that when like they're gonna have to. I mean, that would mean more likely Zubimendi, Rice, and like I think and maybe White. If you, for example, if you take out Zubimendi and Rice, right, for example, and maybe White comes in, because I think right now, at least in my eyes, White is possibly like, because I don't think he's back healthy yet. Possibly our worst defender on the back line because he's not healthy. I don't think he's fit.
He's rusty.
So he's not in form. So, and if you have to bring out it's Rice or Zubimendi, I think that kind of, if we lose the midfield in this game, we could be in trouble.
And let's not forget, there was a world where White was playing right back and Timber was playing left back.
Yeah.
And that still is an option that this team can roll with if they need to.
Yeah. Yeah. Nope, for sure. What's wrong with Tony's fridge? It shouldn't. Yeah, something's wrong with Tony's fridge. Yeah, I don't know. It was too many bodies in the fridge, probably, and it's working overtime.
Gary, you can't do that. You had a squirrel from your basement last week.
I did. Norgard needs more. He needs more minutes. I don't know if this is a good time to get him in there because he's going to have cold feet. That's the problem. Like, I don't know if Norgard is not like our back. He's not like a replacement like our back line. You bring in Mascaria, you bring on Nkapi, you bring on Skelly, we don't see a big drop. You're going to see a drop when Norgard comes in my eyes, at least now, because we haven't seen him enough, one. And two, I don't know if he's that close to Zubimendi to make it seem right that, and maybe him and Rice play, but then you're taxing Rice out. So take your pick.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it can do it for you. We haven't seen him start for us yet, right? Except the Carabao Cup games. I believe he started in one of those. But I don't. Do you worry about his involvement and keeping him engaged? I don't think I worry about that. I don't think his quality is bad either. I think he's a good player. I mean, if you can trust Jorginho to start some of these matches, but again, someone's going to argue you're comparing Jorginho to Norgard, and I'm like, yeah, I am, but in theory, Norgard's a little bit younger. Anyway, I don't know if you're going to start him just yet.
Yeah,
not for that. I needs minutes. But again, like we're also talking about managing we're also talking about we're talking about a manager that doesn't do what we're saying. We want subs in the 60th minute. He doesn't do that. No. He reads the game so differently. Like we had one sub on Sunday when you could see as clear as day, they were as dead as a dog, and that would have been the perfect moment to say, okay, well, Calafiore come off.
Well, we don't drop points more likely in the Sunderland game if we subbed sooner than later.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Saka, Gyökeres. I mean, the whole front line was all dead, right?
Yeah,
I mean, just dead, and we didn't sub at all. And when you lose pressure up top, we lose our identity.
Yeah,
and I think that's what happened there. Erdogan, Rice, and Norgard in the midfield for Bayern Munich. I mean, it could work. If Erdogan is healthy, it could work. But you know what? You're gonna see a drop if Erdogan comes in because you're looking at Eze and what he's just done. You bring in Erdogan, he's not doing the same things. Right?
I told you what needed to happen, Gary.
Yeah. He's not doing what Eze just did.
He figured it out, Gary.
Yeah. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how you play that one out with Erdogan coming in. That's why I don't know if he needs to get a start. Barcelona are just as dangerous offensively. Yeah, they are. I mean, I would like to see us make 4 subs by the 60. Yeah, okay, we did talk about that. Yeah, we'd like to see subs. Yep, he's still out. Yeah, my bad. I thought he was coming back, but he's just practicing, but he's not ready. I'm sure he'll want to kick a ball with a broken toe. Drugs. Yeah, no, he would. Yeah, you don't want to do that. None of you be up for the Chelsea match, much like Havertz was against them. Yeah, I think he did come in and play, so he'll get more minutes as the weeks and days games come on. Norgard where he makes sense. I don't know about that against this midfield. We're talking about a team, right?
Yeah.
We're talking about a team who's, we're talking about Elise, Gnabry, Jackson running at our backline, Kimmich. I don't know Plavdovic. I'm not sure about him, but Kimmich, Elise, and Gnabry and Kane just sounds like ouch, right? Coming up our guess our left side on defense, which we're talking about either Mascara or Hincapie and Calafiori. Calafiori in
or
this
Skelly. I think
or
that's the
Skelly.
game we
So
need Skelly.
Elise against Skelly. I don't know. That could be scary. I mean, Skelly's had some problems as far as defending and not getting beat up by these wings. Norgard needs minutes, or he'll be another. I just think this is 2 games we're talking about. We're not talking about the rest of the season. We've got a 10-9 game stretch, a 9-10 game stretch where he should get tons of minutes and some starts. So I don't think we're not talking about. I mean, he's coming back, but I'm also looking at these 2 games as being critical, at least in the early part of the season. Who else is playing? If you want to rest, I don't. Like I said, that's I don't know who starts. I would have liked if Skelly, like you said here, Skelly could play in the midfield, but he hasn't had an opportunity to. So once again, if they haven't played it, I don't think Arteta is going to do it in our biggest game in the group stage, right? So Brentford aren't no mugs. If Sunderland took a point from us, they could look just as dangerous. Yeah, I mean, we have to rotate. So it's not even that we're looking at them poorly. We have to rotate our squad at some point, or else you guys are gonna be looking at what you saw with Gyökeres, right? We don't get to rotate with Gyökeres. He
I
burns
think you
out
could
quickly.
get away with rotating 3 players a game.
Yeah.
Whether that's one in the back line, one of the forwards, or one of the midfielders. I think you can get away with doing that.
Yeah.
And just kind of pick it as it goes. So.
Yeah, I don't think we're looking at letting people. I just think we have to rotate. And as you said, if it's 3 to 5 players, whatever the number is, I mean, we did like 11, right, in one of the cup matches, right? We're not going to be able to do that going forward, but we have
that's
to
a
do it as
recipe
much
for
as we can.
disasters. Making that many changes, in my opinion.
Yeah. Apparently, we played Villa twice in December, so yeah, they're big games, but we have to rotate regardless. So we know we can do it in the back line. We have to get that same confidence and trust in our midfield. Not there right now, but it might be by the time we get to the end of December. Right, we have a lot of games between after Chelsea where these guys can get minutes and get confidence and get trust from Arteta. So these 2 games are not indicative of what I want to see going forward. They're just really critical games, I think, in the season. Hincapie is revving to go. Yeah, I mean, he's going to more likely start again, right? So, and he's played against Bayern Munich. We are home at Bayern, and Hincapie has actually gone undefeated in the German league with said Bayern Munich team being in there, right? So they've gotten he's seen his team get points off of Bayern Munich twice in a season. So yeah, why not win Arsenal? Nothing happens if we lose. But it's not for losing isn't the problem for me. It's just playing. We need to make sure he puts in a team that has an opportunity to win. If he puts in a team that you're looking at going, you haven't given us a chance, then I think that's bad.
Well, the reality is just getting it knocked over, getting the competition done. Get your ticket punched to the next round, and then you can take the Karat game and put kids out if you want.
Yeah, but the thing is, you don't want to do it so
He's
bad
already
that
been heavily
it rolls into the
substituting
Chelsea
every-
match, as you said. Like for me, it's a mental thing. You go in and you play really tough against Bayern Munich. Maybe you don't get what you want, but you play a really good game and you have to rotate. You good if you get the draw, even good if you get the win, better. But I think we have to rotate. I'm just going to keep saying it. We have to rotate. Aubameyang at 36 had 9 GA in France. I miss him, but at the same time, think how much that 2019 team failed. Feel who we had a better back four could achieve a lot. Yeah, that's the problem. Arteta just didn't replace the back line good. Yeah, he's slow. He was slow. We were slow to move then.
Pablo Mari and some of those guys.
Yeah, and Cedric the Entertainer, right? I mean, That deal was
I
terrible.
never understood why he extended those two
Yeah.
for 4 years right as
Yeah.
soon as they signed.
Yeah. I mean,
So
a hit to the head is why it's violent conduct. It doesn't matter who it is against, I guess. But that's what it is. It's not really you swing at somebody's head, it's violent conduct.
It kind of
Spit.
makes sense. I didn't think you could get a red card for slapping your own player, but I
Yeah,
guess it kind of
it's
makes
violent
sense.
conduct. It doesn't say
Yeah.
against who, right?
That's
You know.
wild, though, man. Get sent off for slapping one of your own players.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I think Keene didn't help the situation because he started it. He pushed him as he walked away, and you could see that push wasn't one of those friendly pushes. Like just get let's go play some. No, that was like you come at me rough, I'm gonna go back
You
at
could
you.
argue they're lucky they didn't get both sent off.
Well, it was two pushes. You're not getting a red card for pushing someone.
But you could argue it's unprofessional conduct.
Yeah, but you don't get a red card for that. You don't get a red card for pushing.
Look, I didn't know you get a red card for slapping your own players.
Well, no, it was a hit to the head. Open hand, slow fist, doesn't matter.
So what's worse? I mean, I know the answer to this question: getting spit on or getting slapped open hand. Getting spit on, obviously.
Yeah. I saw Royal Motion being disappointed by his. Yeah, I think they were both, but not happy with each other. So.
Do you know what's really scary, Spencer?
Even worse. Huh?
Yes.
Yeah. When my refrigerator throws a punch at me.
Yeah.
Again, this thing is probably going to kill you in your sleep.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
To disembowel me.
Yeah.
I don't know about that much, but it's definitely a danger. I'd lock the door at night.
Yeah, I think the referee could have done it differently and could have probably talked to them, maybe give them both a yellow because they both didn't help their cause. But he made a decision. He went to the book when they tell you sometimes they don't have to, right? What did they say last couple of years? For the betterment of the game, you just don't want a referee taking the game out of the players' hands.
Again, Everton made sure of that point today. They won 1-0. So could just the narratives that would have came if they hadn't done anything or if he hadn't done anything.
No, but the referee can make that decision. He can say, because he's sitting there, he can understand, he could see what's going, the way things are going, and could have said, you know what, here's a yellow for if the league wants to suspend him later, they can. But the referee's like, I'm just going to calm down the situation right now, and make sure you guys play a little bit better. And the coach will make a decision later on to pull. Right? If they don't give the card, if they don't give a card at all, maybe the coach pulls, Ganna anyways, right? Because at that point you lost one of your players. Your player's lost his head, and you want to keep him from doing that to the opponent. So you might pull him anyways. So Dwyer and Bauer at Newcastle got sent off. Alan Shearer was delivered. Yeah, no, I think it's a weird one. So we are at the end of the show. We're already over the 100-minute mark. So that's a lot for me. I have to get up and go to work and exercise and stuff.
Yeah, but it's Thanksgiving.
And I did not die by my refrigerator.
Your fridge, I don't know. That thing sounds, it's like the scary noises you hear at night. If that, hopefully you have earplugs or something like that, because I don't know how you sleep with that thing going.
I'll wake up as standing there with a knife in its hand.
I hope not.
It's like Chucky, right? Chucky, how does Chucky kill people? But that little doll chases people down and cuts them up. I don't understand. Yeah. I mean, he's walking at like 1 inch an hour or something like that, and he's still catching people. All right, so we're gonna get out of here. I think we talked about everything.
How many times has Chucky died?
Talk about the next game after that. So Tony, talk to the people so we can get out of here.
Come watch wrestling on Thursday. I'll be trying not to pay attention to a pain in my leg, which hurts more than the actual amputation did.
Oof, that's not good.
Because he stitched my calf into place, so I can't bend my knee but about maybe 20%.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it's like locked in place, won't move.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
All right. check out Tony on Thursday. He'll be talking about wrestling, and then some.
And Saturday,
you have a full house, right?
Survivor Series.
Yeah, you have a full house, so check that out. Spencer, talk to the people.
Happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy the week, especially to everybody, and you make sure you eat a lot. Eat your heart's content.
My family was at the first Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
There we go.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna have some ham, some green bean casserole, some pumpkin pie. Yeah, I'm gonna eat, man.
I was looking at the sweets the other day at Walmart, and I seen a peach cobbler. It's like I almost don't want to eat you all at one time.
Cool.
Hey, listen, you can't eat all the food in the world until you attempt it.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Anyway, enjoy everybody's Thanksgiving.
Yep. Yeah, looking forward to the Bayern Munich game. Yeah, I hope Kane gets nothing. All right, so everybody, we're going to get out of here. Thank you for joining us. We'll do this again. Looking forward to the next 2 games. Next time we chat, we'll hopefully be up 9 points on the league. And it'd be nice if we have 15 points and sit atop the table in the Champions League group stage. If we get 15 and we beat Bayern Munich, we're definitely fine for the top 8, I think. So we'll take that. Yeah, we'll be back on Monday. Check us out. Be back on the weekend.
You too. It might be a maybe for me.
Oh, next Monday. All right. Well, you let me know.
No, I'm talking about the icebox.
Oh, the ice. Oh, you might. Yeah. Well, you might. Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully, Tony survives the night with that refrigerator.
I love nothing more than when Gary giggles like a 5-year-old. That's why I love him when he watches live wrestling. He just it's been
a while since I watched wrestling, so yeah.
I'll say this much: Tony's fridge has very limited chance of killing you, but the chances are never 0.
Hey, if Chucky can kill you, then I think that fridge can.
Right.
So 1-0 to the Arsenal. I don't know if my heart can take it, but I would take. I'll accept a win. So we'll see. I mean, we'll go to Chelsea, and I think we should hopefully be able to. They get nothing on their attack because it won't be as good, and we punish them. Because I don't think their defense is as good. So there you go. Gary, Cleveland's giggle is top. Oh, Cleveland giggle is top tier. Thank you. Giggity.
Thanks,
all right, everybody. We're going to get out of here. We'll see you guys on the next one. Enjoy. If you haven't already, subscribe and like, and we'll be out of here. And toodaloo.
Life is a journey. Don't waste the trip. Enjoy the ride. There you go.